cicadas competing with my cooler. Those buggers are loud. So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I mentioned in my previous video, or in a video coming up, that I had not done a garden update in a while. There have been some big changes in the garden. We've been having some issues with some things, and so here we are. It's a big thing. It's a lot of updates because there's been a lot more going on in the actual garden than anything else. One of the first things you'll notice, this is in that corner where I keep the squash, and there's only one squash plant. And he's going to be going soon. You can see all those drooping leaves. It looks like the squash caught some sort of bacterial thing. When I dumped the soil and checked the soil, we've had a lot of rain and the soil had a sour smell, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's going on. I have had nothing but issues with squash whenever I have tried to do them. I've tried to grow them like 4 times, I think. I'm done for a while, at least for now. Every time I've done them, they grow nice, big, and beautiful, and then they get something. They get bugs. They get bacterial. They get that dust that gets on their leaves. That it's mildew or powdery mildew or something. They all get some kind of issue. So I think most squash are fairly cheap at the market. If you can find them. I know things are kind of shorting right now. We've had bell peppers come up missing a couple of times. I may have to get back to bell peppers next year, depending on where things are at. But I think I'm done with squash for now. I'm tired of they grow big, they get big. You saw the straight 8, it got huge. And then they just, if I'm lucky, I get 1 or 2 fruits and that's it. And then they just go away. And so I'm tired of putting in the effort and the materials and not getting enough for it to work. This is our chocolate striped tomato. It was not looking good over in the line over there with everybody else. So I moved it over here, and it actually is looking better today than it has in a while. A couple things did happen. It has not been flowering for me. Although it looks like it might start trying now. Maybe. It's been growing. It has a couple tomatoes at the bottom. But it's not been giving me any flowers. And then we've had like a ton of storms come through over the last few weeks. I know it's been a while since we've updated. And this one, in one of them, the winds were so hard. You can see these things laying. I'm going to be getting boxes where I can square off the trellises. You cannot do that easily in here because there's just no room for the whole thing to sit. But as you can see, they lean. And the storm came through and knocked this baby over. And at that point, she looked like she was really having issues. So we moved her over here in a corner, and I'm planning to dump this one. If not today, then tomorrow or the next day, very soon. I'm not even going to worry about it. But this one I was planning to dump with that one. I may just let her sit and see what happens. She doesn't look sick. There's some issues on the bottom, but that's just, stuff going on with the water and all that. So we'll just let it sit and see what happens. It also doesn't help that there's actually 3 plants in there, and there should be at most 2. I don't know why I didn't pull one. But there we go. That's the chocolate. Let's go over here and take a look at tomatillos and everything. This is the ground cherries. I don't think the leaves are supposed to be that color, but I have been spraying them with neem and a dish soap mix to help get rid of bugs and take care of all of that stuff. And the biggest problem I'm having right now is that the pods are doing what this one did. They are turning yellow like they're supposed to and dropping. There's another one in the back that I'll pick up on the way back through. Turning yellow and dropping, but the ground cherries inside are still green. And they're supposed to be yellow to orange. So, I don't know what's up with that. But as you can see, we have freaking purple tomatillos everywhere. I am waiting for these to start. I need these to dry out. That one's got a nice big one in there. I need these husks to dry out before I can start to harvest any of them when they're dry. And the splits, that's when they're ready to harvest, and nothing is there. I think this is the first one we had, so that's the one I'm watching for the most part. But I've stopped trying to do the pollination myself. There is something definitely pollinating these for me. We've actually gotten some of our black cherries. We got another one back here who looks ready. Are you ready? Yeah, not quite. We've actually gotten harvest. That's the black cherries. This is the tomatoes. Remember, we had a whole bunch hanging down there that we've harvested. This is the Honey Delights. Again, we harvested a whole bunch that were over in here. This used to have a bunch of them down there. Leaf, you're in the way. We had a whole bunch of them down there. They've all been harvested. So this has been doing well. Our Romas are actually producing flowers. Whether or not they'll produce any kind of tomatoes is a question. The Cherokee also started to produce flowers. These flowers are actually very interesting. I haven't seen any of the tomatoes come up. They've started. Oh, but they're dropping off. That's not good. We do have some starting right there. Hopefully they'll come in. Having issues. And I honestly think it is the torrential rain. It has been horrendous. It's been hideous. Anyway, and this is our indigos, and I'm just waiting for these to ripen. We'll get something ripe. And she is also still producing flowers. And then, in case I didn't tell you guys on the channel, we're trying our hand at corn. Something's eating that alive. I just bought I think it's nitrogen rich. I think that's what they need. I just bought the extra food that they're going to need. And, yeah, so we're going to see what that goes. This is supposed to be ready to go in 2 months. So I've got a month, maybe a month and a half. And then I should have ears. And each one of them should have 2 to 4 ears on them. And there's 6 in there. But definitely need probably a bigger thing for them too. So, but this was just to try this out. Alrighty, so we're going to take you in to see the peppers, and there are some exciting things going on in there, so hold on. Alright, I did tell you guys that there are big things going on in the peppers. Look at this. Aren't they pretty? It's even better than you think. Okay, so we did lose the ají dulce that I had to transplant, but the other 2 are still looking beautiful. We have determined that next year, if my husband's friend still wants some ají dulce, that we will actually plant the seeds for him separately so that we don't have to worry about a transplant shock issue. But as you can see, things are growing. Our purple jalapeno has a beautiful flower on it and has some others budding. The purple jalapeno is unusual in that, as far as I know, it is the only pepper with purple flowers. All the other ones have the white flower that we're about to see in a minute. As you can see, the claws are growing. Everything's growing. Looking so much better than they did before. We tried the ají rico seeds from my husband. I think the peppers he got were immature, so the seeds weren't ready, and we got nothing. So I ordered some, and since they come up in about 2 months, give or take, I am hoping we will have some before we have to pull anything. But if not, I do have some left from what I ordered. And of course, our Anaheim is blooming and has another flower coming in. This is what most pepper flowers look like right there, that white flower. There's our Fresnos. Anyway, that means we are about to have peppers. Peppers are just like tomatoes, very easy to pollinate. You just, once the flower's open, you give it a nice good tap and shake, and they should develop peppers from there. Anyway, I've been very pleased with the way this has been going up back here. It is running late for the year. They should all be getting their flowers and getting ready to pod, but we're going to go with, we're just glad that they're still up and moving and whatever, growing. But anyway, so that is it, and I hope you like what you've seen, and that you will subscribe if you're not already. And when you do subscribe, please hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. This is a bonus video, so you would need to have that bell clicked to be able to get a notification about it. And yep, that's going to be it for the day. Hope we see you again soon. Please subscribe and do the YouTube-y things and like and all that stuff. That helps us out so much. And you all have a great day. Bye.